Hello, my name is Stephen Cook, a solution architect at DocuSign, and today I'm going to go over some best practices when you're not using DocuSign template documents, but rather you're starting with a document outside of DocuSign that you need to send out for signature. So let's start out with the basics here. In this scenario, I have a quote that I've just created in Word, and I need to get this out the door to the customer. And here I can click Request Signature, which automatically opens up DocuSign, uploads that document, and I can just type in the names and emails of who I want to send that document to. And when I hit Next, this is going to bring me into the actual document where I can specify things like I want the signer's name, customer's name, I want them to sign in this location, and I want the date to populate automatically for them. And I can do this for all the different recipients in this workflow, in this case, the customer and the sales rep. And from there, I just hit send and the document's out the door. Now, that's more of a ad hoc, how do I get things out the door? Not really a defined process, but in this case, this is a defined process. It's a quote. I send this out quite a bit, and I can make my life easier by clicking to save as a template and basically specify the workflow that these quotes always follow. Goes to the customer first, and then whoever's sending it out countersigns the document. I can go ahead and name that sales template. And then go into advanced edit, which gives me some flexibility if I want to standardize the email so that it says the sales quote and then also the customer's name in there. Choose a reminder to go out every day, make my life easier, not have to do that follow-up. But here's going to be the very important points, because those tags might not be in the same location every single time. And DocuSign's actually smart enough to follow specific text so that you don't have to manually place those tags even when the location you want that customer signature to be. And in this case, if I choose name, we can see DocuSign automatically finds anywhere there's name and places those tags. But in this case, that's not going to work for us. We're going to need something a little more unique here. So let's try customer. And here we can see that customer is just one area, but I think we need to go with something a little more unique, because if I send out another quote and it has customer somewhere else, might run into some issues here. So what we're going to end up doing is really modifying the underlying document to include a unique string of text. In this case, N1 is going to represent where we want the customer's name tag to always be placed. And for signature, I'm going to go through and do S1 is going to be that unique string to always place the customer's signature in there. And then D1 for the date signed. So anywhere on that document that they find, that we find, or DocuSign finds N1, S1, or D1 with those slashes, we're going to automatically place those tags in the correct location. And I'm going to go through and do the same for the sales rep. Sales reps tags are going to be different. So their second in line, I'm just going to call it N2, S2, and D2. And then we'll hide that text so no one really sees that. But we're going to be able to take advantage of the auto place. And now we're going to have that as my underlying template that I'm going to work from. And in order to make this work, we'll update the underlying document in DocuSign as well. And go ahead and upload that sales template that I've now included those autoplay strings, that /n1/ /s1/ and the same for the sales rep as well. And once that template's been uploaded, instead of customer, now I'm going to use that very unique string. This is going to ensure that it's not automatically placed accidentally somewhere else in that document that it really shouldn't be, or other documents that we're going to be utilizing the same template for. So I'll go through, make some updates here, make sure the alignment's good, and do the same for the sales rep as well. Now you can choose any string. This is just the unique string that I went with, but really it's just making sure that nowhere else on any documents where you're going to be applying this template, that string of text would show up where you actually wouldn't want the date sign to show up, or their name, or the signature tag. Then we also have some tools to kind of clean this up, make it a little prettier, align things, and we can go ahead and hit save. All right. And then also include it in matching, make sure that DocuSign is looking at that template, and any document that is uploaded, we're going to double check to see if that template matches the DocuSign template. All right, so just to show you that anchor text working in action, I'll remove some information, therefore moving the location of the customer's information and signature, along with the sales reps as well. And here we can see that template. Applying that workflow, now I just need to put in the customer's name, because they're going to be the first signer. And we can actually see the sales rep myself who uploaded that document, because I put the role of sender, automatically populated my name and email in there for me. Just making my life a little bit easier. But most importantly, didn't have to place those fields. So automatically was able to follow that location, making my life easy. Really all I needed to do was upload that document, apply that template, type in the name and email of the customer, and I could just hit send. Really not have to worry about any of the other stuff that I had to do manually before, but still getting all the benefits of tags, auto-populating names, date signed, and making sure that they are signed in the correct location. Now, something that comes up quite a bit, and I think that people don't necessarily know how to fix, is really along the lines of how template matching actually works. And I'll show you that if I add in some text at the start and end of this document, this is actually going to change the template matching output to not recognize it, because DocuSign's template matching, the way it works is we're going to look at the first and last 25 words on the document to compare to the template. So I'd have to manually apply the template if I wanted to in this case, and that's not the best experience. So probably thinking, how do I fix this? And it's actually really easy to really enforce that your templates are always going to match, and match to 100% accuracy. And the way you do this is in your underlying template that you're always going to be starting from, just put a unique header and footer of 25 words. You can put that in white text, very similar to the anchor text string, to make sure that we're following the correct tag location. In this case, that header footer is making sure that we are matching to the right template every single time. And really, I don't need any of the other information in here for DocuSign to look to match to. Really, all we need is that header footer to know match the template, and the auto place tags to know where to place those fields. So I'm going to go ahead and update my DocuSign template here with that new sales template with that unique header footer, which we're going to now include into all of my sales quote templates that I'm going to start from, along with the auto place anchor text to make sure that those tags are all following in the correct location, no matter if that quote is a one-page quote, two-page, wherever those signature fields need to go, we're going to automatically follow. And now the typical quote template that I would start from in Word, I'm just including that unique string. Again, this is going to let DocuSign know, hey, we have a DocuSign template. Do you want me to apply it to this quote whenever it's uploaded that you send out for signature? And then in this case, I haven't actually updated the quote template to include those anchor strings, so I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste those from the DocuSign template document and go ahead and hide all of the autoplace anchor text in white. Again, no need to see that, but it needs to be unique, and that is how DocuSign is going to follow those tag placements. So now, whenever I send out a quote, we can see we get that 100% template matching because of that header footer, even though those documents look completely different, comparing the quote template Word doc that we start from and great for the customer versus the actual DocuSign template document. Again, just that header and footer. So when we go through and add in that other text that caused template matching not to work previously, this will now work for us. And I'll even remove some products as well just to show the autoplace working. And then we can go ahead and say request signature. And here we see that template is working. And all I would need to do, again, just type in customer name, be able to send out that document. When you think about templates, it's a lot more about what are these DocuSign steps that I can probably eliminate to make my life easier when I want to send out documents. And there are a lot of ways that you can do this. Template matching and anchor text is probably two of the key points that's going to make your life easier, so that it is just uploading a document, typing in name and email, and sending out that document. So I'll go ahead and save that quote template and really just get it ready for all of the other sales reps who are going to use this. So really just clean it up, ensure that we have that header and footer, make sure that template matching is going to work, and along with the actual anchor text as well. So this is going to be that starting template everyone works from. Go ahead and save it. Now, you probably send out other documents as well. Quotes are just one type of document you send out, and sales contracts are sent out as well. And that's something that you can follow the same methodology to make your life easier when you're sending out documents, in this case, a contract. So I'm just going to include that same header and footer that I put in my quote template and use it for my contract template as well. But in this case, I have customers signing, but sometimes we have managers, sometimes we have CEO, sometimes we have both. And all I really need to do for this is, in this case, create that contract template and add in those new roles to my DocuSign template along with the anchor text that I'm going to use to place the manager's fields along with the CEO's fields. So in this case, I've actually already added it. I used N3, manager's third recipient, and CEO N6. Now I just need to update my DocuSign template to also reflect this. So replace that document to now include the other anchor string and update the recipient roles as well. So adding in that manager and that CEO. I used N6 for the CEO just in case I decide later on that maybe a CRO might sign before a CEO, and I can always add them as N5. So just giving me some flexibility for later on. But for now, I'll start going through and making sure that the auto place is set for all the manager fields and the CEO fields. And really, this is going to be your all-encompassing template. So if you have other fields, like a text field, you'd want to include that anchor text in here as well. And we're only going to include it if it's found in that document. But you don't have to manually delete. It's not going to error. So it's a really all-encompassing template in this case for a contract, but also for a quote template. So when I decide that I've created my contract and want to send it out, I'll go ahead and pretend like this is contract 1234 for a customer that I started from the contract template, my Word template, and I want to send it out for signature. Go ahead and say request signatures. And we can see that template matching is working because of that header footer, but also we can see the sales rep wasn't included. And that's because none of those anchor strings were found in that contract template. So that's really powerful. Really, that gives you the ability to dynamically add or remove recipients without people having to manually do it. So if I had another contract that I was sending out, or a contract that really didn't need a manager signature but did need a CEO signature or vice versa, I can just delete out that recipient. And because those anchor strings are no longer in that document, those tags aren't going to be placed and that recipient is not going to be added. So now when I apply that sales template, automatically brings in the right recipients, and I don't need to delete, add people, move different fields around. Really powerful in managing those templates easy, but also sending out documents for the people who are going to be using those DocuSign templates. And here we can see that it is following those anchor strings, that N1 and N3 for the customer manager. So this is some really powerful stuff. Again, always use anchor strings and header and footers. DocuSign's going to look at the first and last 25 words. That's how you can really enforce that the template matching is always going to work. 100% accuracy. All about sending those documents out easier when it's not a DocuSign template document, but rather a document that is created outside of DocuSign, but you still want to take advantage of all the benefits of DocuSign, like workflow, required fields, pre-populating the date signed or their names for them, and having that visibility from sending, automatic reminders, standardizing the email name and subject. Really, any of those typical DocuSign template benefits, you're going to now be able to standardize across the board, even when those documents are starting outside of DocuSign. All right, thank you.